harder scripts I'd read, and I'd done a lot of action movies, but they'd always been based in fantasy in some way. So it was the first time I got to do something based in reality, and I think that makes all the action harder and tougher and just a lot more fun. So I had a great time. I did. I think I do every time I work in some way. The method is so much about getting back to your memory and using your sense memory, and so it's the decisions you make. At the end of the day, I think this film is very much about what you choose to do with your life, where you stand, and what you decide you won't be pushed to do, and your own personal line. And I think that is something that we all have to come to terms to at some point in our life, and take a stand or back away or whatever it may be. And I think, no matter what your circumstances are, how you're raised, whatever excuses you have for the pain in your life and the things of self-destructive nature, whatever it may be, at some point you make this big decision to make your own choices, and she does, and when she does in the film, I was moved by that. I liked what she did, and I liked why she did it.
Was what motivates someone like to do this job? You know, it turns out they don't get paid a tremendous amount of money, Central Intelligence agents. And what was interesting talking to Valerie about and kind of moving was that there's a level of patriotism functioning there that I don't think many people understand anymore. And I think that's part of what was so tragic about what happened to her, but that was really interesting to me because I certainly hadn't thought about it from that perspective, that these people are really motivated by a legitimate love of country. The interesting part, I think, for both Angie and myself was what motivates someone like this. There's the Russian spy swap that happened a couple of weeks ago, and suffice it to say that Ted takes it very personally when he finds out that Evelyn's, or when he thinks that Evelyn's betrayed him. It was just a really fun ride. It was one of those things where.
Tonight, to another film that you won't see for a little while.
I knew Philip's one of those rare directors that takes story very seriously and research very seriously, and so he makes a great, smart, proper, dramatic film, and at the same time loves and understands the big action sequences and all the big fun of these type of movies. So oddly, I got injured in one of the most ridiculously easy stunts in the movie. I had to just jump into a door and shoot sideways and kind of roll to the ground, and I rolled right into a desk, and I cracked the front of my head open, and not my skull, but I was bleeding, and I have a little scar now right here.
Wonderful action scenes in the movie, and he knows Angelina's strengths and he knows her limitations, so he lets it go right up to the edge.
We have to work so much harder to convince the audience that all these things are absolutely possible, and so my style got meaner and harder and darker, and it wasn't as kind of fun and pretty, and that made it, I think, better. I think these stunts in this movie is a better action movie than ones I've done.
Allowed Philip and Simon and all of us to take her ideas and apply them in a way that really made it fun for them.
I think I got to play with just about everything, including a fire extinguisher, in a way I never used it.
My favorite is the Super Soaker.
It transcends gender, really, and it was a fun exercise. And Angelina's zest for